So we've got Chris today coming from Bentonville, Arkansas, Pathformance, a great company, and he's going to talk about retail media, the point of purchase, closing the loop, and digital out of home, and more. And they're a great company with some really nice people that will also be joining us in Cannes Lions this year. At least some of them will. So stay tuned for more Chris in a moment. And then as we continue on, a little more housekeeping of what we're doing here. We just got back, as many of you know, from our member meeting at Global Do, which is a big session at Possible, which has become the Cannes Lions of the West. And everybody got a chance to meet Kate here as well as CES with us, who's the Global Media Director for Lenovo. Adform, John, an old friend, was great. AdSquare's got terrific data. Chris is actually also in Connecticut, and then Jessica from Shopify. And we had over 240 folks in the room. And I encourage everybody to come to Possible. Here's some pictures of our activities. There I am with the Stagwell and Assembly folks, and with the head of media globally for Lenovo, and then our VIP dinner on the lower left. So join us for our events. And then as we continue through, thank you, Blake. Please join us for our Canada Summit. We'll have Loblaws, a huge retail company in Canada, Samsung, Danone, and others, Mazda, and it's going to be a great day. We get about 500 folks to the big Canada Summit at our member Cineplex Scotiabank Theater, June 11th. Book your tickets to Toronto. The Canadians are the nicest people in the world. Thank you, Blake. And then for Cannes Lions, this is our preliminary group of people. We've created the magic middle here, folks. You can go to a conference and sit in a room with 1,000 people and see a major brand or someone on stage and never get a chance to interact or touch or whatever. Or you can pay a consulting company $250,000 a year to put you in a room with someone who doesn't want to be there. We've created this magic middle where we have fireside chats with major players, and as they say, "Oh, I'd like to, be." In retail media, or I like to be in and around gas stations, or I'd like to be here. Then we introduce the members in the room, and then the members ask questions, and then the brands ask questions. It's a really wonderful experience where this year we have Etsy, Verizon, the head of all global media, my friend Jay at MasterCard, the woman who runs all the Android marketing around the world for Google for all the Android devices. United Airlines head of advertising, Beiersdorf and Bose, my friend Jim, who I've known for many years as well. He was CMO and now he's president of the luxury division. Etsy, she joins us every year as well. Verizon. So these clients are great. And then everybody gets to meet all the rest of the members. We do this at CES and Cannes Lions and Possible. In addition, thank you. We have our big dinner at the most wonderful seafood restaurant in the south of France. And then we have our cocktail party at the Majestic. We're doing that with Mad Hive this year. And then we've got a yacht party with our member IR code, which will be great. And then we have an outing at the Cannes Hotspot where all the media and advertising and brands hang out. So join us for Cannes Lions. Get in touch with any DPW member to find out what the details are. But it's an amazing 3-4 days of great meetings, interaction, knowledge, and business acceleration. Thank you, Blake. And now we're turning it over to Chris. Chris, thank you for joining us. Pathformance, a terrific member. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for having us, Barry. I appreciate it. It's really good to be here with you guys. Amazed at the attendance. So awesome to have everybody here. Let's see if I can share my screen here.
All here to see you, Chris. They
all here to see
can't
me.
get to Bentonville, but they're going to give them a little bit of Pathformance instead.
That's all right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. Again, the goal of today is to tell you guys a little bit about how we approach proof at the point of impact, and particularly for digital out-of-home marketers. So let's see here. So Pathformance, most of our customers have known us for sales lift measurement. For the past 5 years, we've been helping marketers understand the effectiveness of their strategies in CPG marketing at big box retail across Walmart, Target, Amazon, grocery channels, drug channels, dollar stores, you name it. We help them understand whether or not they're actually moving the needle in terms of sales performance. You measure a couple of thousand campaigns, and eventually your customers want to ask a different question, right? They want to ask you what's actually working. What can we do in order to take advantage of what's working, and how can we improve on the success of our campaigns? And so we've introduced some new solutions. One of those is PathX Pro, and PathX Pro is where we enable marketers to connect all of their digital signals, all of their marketing signals, from retail media to digital out of home, all of their different retail media signals, and then align those with point of sale data. The more data that goes in, the better the results that come out. This is where we start getting into media mix modeling and really understanding what's driving the needle. PathX Verified is our solution for receipt validation, right? This gives those harder to connect, those things where, we're shopping in walled gardens and it's a little bit more difficult to connect the one-to-one relationship between that customer, that consumer that saw the ad and then bought the product. And with PathX Verified, we make it possible and fun and engaging for the consumer to actually be able to self-report and provide a receipt that has the evidence of their purchase in order to receive a redemption or whatever they might be looking for there. But the data that we receive on our end is really great for helping to understand what's driving the performance for the marketing. We can also ask more questions at this point. So not only are we seeing what they purchased, but we're also able to ask them why. Is this their first time using the product? Are they switching from another brand? All of those types of things. So PathX Verified is a really great solution for helping us round this out. And then finally, we'll talk a little bit about social listening. Our social listening product is really designed to help us, tap into those YouTube and TikTok podcast listeners, start to understand what the language is that they're using to talk about different brands and topics that are relevant to our customers so that we can engage with them on a more contextual type basis. We've helped more than 500 brands drive meaningful growth over the past 5 years. So working with a lot of brands that I'm sure you know and are familiar with. It all starts with data. And so for Pathformance, we love client provided data. Many of our clients, those brands you saw on the previous slide, they bring their own data from Walmart, Kroger, CVS, Home Depot, Walgreens, and more. But we are also a Target preferred vendor. Makes it really easy for a Target vendor to connect directly to us. And we're a Nielsen IQ provider. So we have access to many retailers, store and regional level data. Plus we have Amazon insights to be able to attach to certain marketing strategies. But talking about our sales lift product, the things that I think are really important and unique to understand about this is that we're capturing the actual impact of sales, of actual sales, where media is exposed versus those locations where it's not. And the reason we take that approach is because we want to understand that we're actually changing the sales performance at these locations and not just simply selling to customers who are already buying our products, right? So it still happens a lot, but marketers are concerned with the idea that buying audiences and advertising to people who are, most interested in their products is often actually just a list of those people who they're already selling to. And so by executing a test and control balanced sales lift model, we're able to help understand the real impact and whether there's true incrementality there. But that starts with determining feasibility. So everybody wants to know, the first question that someone might have is it feasible? Is my campaign feasible? What they mean by that is, am I going to get a good ROI, right? Am I going to run this campaign that I want to spend $50,000 on and see more than $50,000 in new sales as a result? And that starts with understanding the sales performance. And we're looking at that across items and geographies and retailers. And trying to help understand whether or not there's the potential to apply and where, right? Specifically where. When you look at the universe of Walmart, while every potential Walmart shopper is simply someone who has access to Walmart.com, if you really want to tap into where that Walmart shopper is, you got to go around the stores because the Walmart ecosystem is an omni experience for the shopper, right? And so the same shopper that walks into the store, that's the same store that's going to, deliver to their house. It's the same store that they're going to go and pick it up from when they order online. And so creating this ecosystem, this test and control ecosystem based on store locations is one of the most effective ways for us to truly understand the incremental impact of marketing effectiveness. Again, looking at PathX Pro, this is where we're able to really, instead of looking at single campaigns and looking at single strategies, we're able to really tie it all together and start to understand what is driving the needle. The main thing that I, would want to iterate here is that the importance of bringing good data to the conversation is never higher than now, right? So as you may be providing a solution for marketers to be able to tap into digital out-of-home experiences, if that's not represented right in the media mix models that advertisers are looking at to understand how their marketing is performing, then it's not going to look as if it did as well. And so that's one of the things that we help our partners, so the ad tech partners that we partner with, make sure that you have the right data in here to properly demonstrate the effectiveness of the strategies you're deploying. Again, just a quick glance at what the social media listening looks like, but we gain a lot of intelligence by tapping into the keywords and what the conversation looks like, right? How are people talking about your brand? How are people talking about the subjects you want people to be talking about your brand, right? So if you're beer and you want to understand, how people are talking about your brand in the grilling conversation, we can help you identify that. And then actually we can help combine these two things. Now we have a deep understanding of the locations where we want to advertise, and we have a deep understanding of how we want to reach them from a sentiment perspective through social listening, and can really deploy from a contextual perspective more efficient advertising strategies for our customers. So what does this all mean? Closing the loop in digital out of home. I think the key is to a little bit of both, right? And I think that you start with our standard sales lift measurement practice, and a sales lift measurement practice that's going to help you understand the effectiveness of the marketing strategy at store locations, at the store level, right? And then to tie that together by bringing in the audience insights. And we do that, of course, with the PathX Verified. The nice thing about PathX Verified is that users are able to encounter screens or other ways of being able to tap into a QR code or receive a text engagement process that enables them to very quickly and easily upload information about their experience shopping and receive a redemption or reward as a result for that. So we think that these are kind of the keys to bringing about a better understanding for how effective the strategies are, and then ultimately in planning better strategies going forward. It's not always just about that rear view mirror, but it's about understanding how to be successful going forward. One of the things we wanted to offer to you guys today is access to our planning tool. So we'll put a QR code up here on the screen. And if you're interested in accessing our free platform, we've got a lot of different tools there that will help you to be able to plan and execute measurement for your customers. This platform actually launches later in the month of June. And so the QR code here is going to take you to a location where you can put in your invite. It's probably got a piece for a access code. If you'll put DPAA in there, we'll know that you guys were attending this meeting and that's how you found out about it. And then one of our team members will reach out to set up some time with you to talk about how we can actually help serve you and your customers with better understanding through measurement.